happening at a wildlife park outside Perth, Australia. And the kangaroos are ready to get a jump on breakfast.
It's 7 a.m. and the roos are starved.
Today, it's a special meal.
Got bread and a surprise element.
That surprise element has a terrifying smell.
Food!
The roos are part of a research project and some can't wait to get started.
He's eating our science.
The goal? Find something to keep kangaroos away from crops. The solution? Dingo pee.
When kangaroos sniff dingo urine, it's like they've hit an electric fence.
Kangaroos may be the national symbol of Australia, but are not as beloved here as you might think.
They have a reputation as perhaps oversized rodents. They're unwanted in this environment.
Wild populations have reached plague proportions in some parts of the country, with total estimates running as high as 30 million.
There would be more roos than people in Australia, there's no doubt about that.
Each year, the macropods eat millions of dollars in vegetation on farms and land reclamation sites.
Kangaroos are going primarily after grasses and sedges, fodder, but they really will eat anything.
And on Australia's roads, they're a constant danger for motorists. To try to curb the numbers, government-sanctioned cullings wipe out thousands every year. But it's a man-made problem. The kangaroo's native predator, the dingo, has also been decimated. Now, scientists are using the dingo in a different way to solve the problem. Dr. Michael Parsons is studying the effectiveness of dingo urine as a deterrent.
We can basically recapitulate that signal from nature. This is an ideal location because it's not sheltered.
In this test, several trays of bread are set out, but one has a smelly side dish.
We've placed out 4 trays and we've guarded one of them.
From the start, the animals avoid the pea-laced platter, but eventually a brave Joey investigates the spiked sample.
He wants food, the adults are getting this stuff, he sees food there.
And the reaction is instant.
That was a pretty good response right there. The animal's fled about 6 meters away. The animal realizes the predator was just here. He would have had a definite fear response.
But these park-raised roos have never seen a dingo. So where does that fear come from?
It's telling us that there's probably a hardwired response. This is a genetic response, and the animal from birth is aware that, hey, there are things out there that's going to endanger me. They didn't take a single bite of bread from the treatment. It's having the effect that we're hoping that it would have.
There are also chemicals in the pea kangaroos instinctively recognize.
This says there's a meat eater in our midst. The other thing is it contains pheromones, signals secreted by the dingo, intended to communicate with other dingoes.
But where do you get dingo pea samples? On the other side of the country.
Hello, come on.
One of the only purebred wild dingo breeding colonies provides a constant supply.
I'll get the flight out tonight.
But for best results, the urine has to be fresh. So the challenge is to get samples quickly back to Perth.
We're in New South Wales here on the eastern part of Australia, and we have to get this urine to Western Australia, and that's something like 3,000 or 4,000 kilometres.
Oh, quite pungent.
A mass-produced roo repellent from natural dingo pea isn't practical, so a synthetic copy is being developed.
It's encapsulated the dingo urine into an agar-based gel, and it gives us a delivery mechanism that's a little more stable in the environment.
To further the design, air sampling devices are used during tests.
The end of this tube is just like the kangaroo's nose.
The artificial sniffers measure chemical concentrations to see what's most effective.
We actually start developing a pattern of the plume of the chemical as it comes out of the dingo urine.
The synthetic dingo pea is still a few years away from being commercially available in Australia, but researchers believe they're on the right path.
This is really what we're all about, finding solutions, letting Mother Nature manage her own natural resources, and we're just trying to place signals from the top order predator back out in the environment.
And this smelly solution might bring balance back to the kangaroo and its homeland.
We want people to change their perception of kangaroos as to be respected for the animal that they are, the amazing icon of Australia, and away from the actual pest or nuisance that we tend to think of them.